Hey everybody, I'm the Lego Detective, and I'm back again with another video. And this time it's not on something related to Legos. This is an action figure. It's Sasuke from Figuarts, the original Sasuke. There have been two different versions of him released. And this has been a figure that I've actually wanted for a really long time because I don't really like the other Sasuke figure. The torso looks a bit awkward to me in the area where the ab crunch is, just because it just looks very gappy, and the hair looks a bit awkward for me as well. And I really wanted this version of Sasuke. And I was actually in a Japanese bookstore with my dad and my brother, actually, yesterday, as of the time of the recording of this video. And most of what they have there were just DVDs and books and manga and whatever, but they also had a little section of action figures. And I saw this figure and I really wanted it, and I actually got it. It was pretty expensive. It was more expensive than I would have wanted to spend on it. However, this figure is going for like anywhere between $140 to $300 on eBay right now to get this figure official, made by Bandai and Tamashii Nations right there. Not a knockoff. There are a ton of knockoffs on eBay. And I bought it, and it was actually sealed. I wasn't sure if it had just been repackaged or if it was sealed, but it was actually sealed. So, yeah, very cool. And also, one more thing to note is that this is actually a new phone that I'm using to record this. I got a new phone, so if you like the quality of this video, definitely let me know in the comments below. So let's just take a look at the box. I have a little Lego support stand that I was using. So there's a picture of Sasuke with his sword. I really like how it looks. You can see some of the figure and some of the accessories. Tamashii Nations and Bandai, Figuarts, a pose of Sasuke on the side with the Chidori, Uchiha Sasuke, and then it shows a bunch of different poses. So, yeah, I have already opened this, and you essentially just pull out, and you have the clamshell in there with all of those pieces for the figure, and there he is. It's kind of dark for some reason, and yeah, let's take a look at the figure. So here is Sasuke out of the packaging, and I actually decided to shut off the light because it wasn't really showing the figure that well, but let's take a look at him. I think that this is fine. Just tell me in the comments and let me know. I'm always just, I always expect and I always appreciate feedback about what lighting situations you want, or obviously now that I have this new phone, the quality of the video. But anyway, so here is Sasuke. And he looks very cool. This is based off of kind of the second half of Shippuden after he defeated Itachi, and he has this new uniform. So let's start out over here. He's got this purple belt rope right here, and this is actually just attached on a double ball joint right there. So if you wanted to remove that, you could. Let me just attach that back. It just pegs in. There we go. You can kind of move that all over the place. And moving this upward is going to give us access to the little skirt there. That's pretty much just what it is. It's a skirt. It's actually separated into three little rubbery pieces, and the two ones on the front are actually very malleable. So it allows for a lot of posability. You can just kick out a lot actually with this figure, forward as well. So really nice posability. This piece here doesn't really move as much, but this one is very movable. You do have a lot of shading on the legs to represent the shadows. Kind of cast by the skirt piece, and I think that that's done very well. And you can also just pull down the legs, drop them down a little bit, and that gives you some more access as well. And you do have the double jointed knees right there, which I wish that they had a little bit of paint on them because it kind of looks a bit weird, that lighter blue color compared to the rest of the leg. You can rotate the foot around and hinge it forward and back, and the toes can move as well. And you might think that it's a nitpick that the paint kind of bleeds onto the toes, but from a distance, it just looks fine. And this figure is like 3 years old at this point, so yeah. So let's just focus in right there, and then we're gonna start with the torso. I really like the zipper detailing. It's actually textured, so you can kind of feel the zipper right there. And the shading on the torso is nice as well. And you have an ab crunch right there, forward and back, and then you can spin the entire torso around as well, so that is very nice. A lot of mobility there in the upper torso section. The head is on a ball hinge, and the neck can move as well, so you can kind of tilt really side to side a lot, and then kind of go in a circle using the neck and the head joints. So that's very nice, and you can get that menacing look that Sasuke has with him kind of looking down from his cloak right there. And that looks pretty cool. So for the arms, we have ball hinge at the hands. So you can move that around. You do have a double jointed elbow, but the upper joint is kind of blocked off by the sleeve, so really the lower joint is the only one that actually does something. And you can move this around. And you do have a ball hinge up here for the shoulder, which makes it a bit awkward posing it. You can't just bring up the arm. The arm can kind of go in and out as it is. And then you kind of have to grab that little sleeve section and just bring the entire thing up. And then from there, you can kind of go in and out. It's a bit tricky, but once you have it in hand, you'll kind of understand it. It's just a bit tricky to kind of adjust that joint because the arm always wants to twist. So when you bring it up, it doesn't really come up. You kind of have to fidget with it a little bit. And then we do have these little sleeve pieces, which just are there to kind of hide the ball joint. And then you can kind of push them in if you want to get some more mobility out of the figure. And even though the shoulder movements are a bit limiting to his articulation, I think that you can still get him in pretty much any pose you would want him to. You do have the Uchiha logo on the back, which is very, very nicely painted or printed or whatever it is. And so yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for Sasuke's figure, and let's take a look at all of his accessories. So I thought that we'd start off with his face. As you can see, this is Sasuke's just generic expression. He's just got a normal kind of frowning look, which does look like him. However, I would have actually liked if he had his Sharingan in this face. It's just his normal eyes right there. Now, you do get an alternate face for Sasuke and an alternate hairpiece. So, as you can see, we have those 4 pegs there that you just pull off. And let's put his alternate face on there. So, as you can see, it is his Sharingan face. And he is yelling with the Sharingan. And you can see it is his manga kill Sharingan right there, which is really, really small and fine details, and I'm really glad that they were able to get that into this figure. And you also have an alternate, as I ripped the face off, you also have an alternate hairpiece. And when we put it on him here, come on, this is kind of, the wind is kind of blowing in his hair, so the hair is kind of blowing to one side, kind of windswept. And this is definitely the best face to use when you have him kind of running forward with his Chidori, and you use this hair piece and this face piece, and I think it looks really, really great. I just really wish, again, that the normal face expression for Sasuke had the Sharingan as well, or if we got another expression just with a normal Sharingan face, because the second version of Sasuke also had another Sharingan face, but it was not a generic expression. We need a generic Sasuke face. I'm really hoping that SH Figuarts might make some more figures of Sasuke, and also not even just him, but a lot of the other characters that we haven't gotten yet. They've made 3 different versions of Naruto, and I really just feel like it's excessive. I really want another version of Sasuke. I want Sakura. I want Neji, Obito, Deidara. But anyway, that's a bit off course, but I still would have liked if we had gotten another face for him. So now we're going to take a look at all the different hands that we have for Sasuke. As you can see, the default that he comes with in the package are these fisted hands. Next up, we have some open palmed hands. He also comes with some grabbing hands if you wanted to make him do the Rasengan or the Kamehameha for some reason. Honestly, I'm not sure what the purpose of these hands are for, since there's not really much use for them. But hey, extra hands are better than no hands, right? He also has some jutsu hands, which are a nice addition, and I'm pretty sure that all of the Naruto figures by SH Figuarts to date actually have these hands, so that's definitely nice. And next we have these karate chop hands, just flat palmed hands, and you actually use these with the Chidori piece. And then last up you get his sword holding hand, which is similar to the fisted shape, but you have a little hole in it so you can hold his sword. And next up we actually have these sword pieces. You have 3 different pieces essentially for him. You have just the sheath with the sword in it, and it would be way too hard to make this sword actually fit into the sheath, especially at this size. So we just have the normal sheath and then the normal sword. And on the back of Sasuke, on the belt, we have a little hole area, and you can just slide in the sheath right there. So that's pretty cool. And then when you want him to have his sword, you just slide in the swordless sheath, and then you can put the sword in his hands, and you can make him hold it like a normal sword, but I'm just gonna make it hold it kind of backwards the way that he does in the anime. And yeah, there we go. It's a really nice piece. Let me just zoom out. It's kind of a rubbery, like flexible piece, so it's not really gonna break that easily. And on the box, it kind of shows him holding the sword kind of like that, like he does in the anime. And let me just adjust this real quick. You can get some really cool sword poses with Sasuke. Come on, there we go. That looks pretty cool. So the final accessory for Sasuke is the Chidori, which I think looks absolutely amazing. The sculpting is really great. It's actually very spiky, so definitely be careful when you're taking it out of the package. These pieces are kind of flexible like the sword, so they're not really going to break unless you really try to destroy it. And you can actually just split the piece in two, but I find it a bit easier just to slide it onto the hand. You need to use the karate chopped hand for Sasuke and just slide it on. As you can see, it kind of popped off there. Let me struggle to get that on, and there we go. So you can kind of twist his hand around, and it looks really great. It goes around, and yeah, let me just zoom out here and kind of adjust this, and there we have Sasuke with the Chidori, and I think it looks really awesome. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this figure. So there's my review on the SH Figuarts Sasuke figure, and I think that this is a really cool figure if you can get it. So yeah, like I said earlier, I actually found it for much cheaper than the normal asking price, but I would recommend this figure if you're a fan of Naruto or if you're a fan of just Sasuke as a character, definitely for sure. This is probably the best action figure of Sasuke that there is out there of this outfit. Like I said, there is the other SH Figuarts Sasuke, so whichever one you think is better, you can decide. But it's just a shame that the Naruto franchise just doesn't have a lot of good action figures. They just really don't have many figures out there, and I'm really hoping that SH Figuarts continues with their line. And yeah, I think that this is a really cool figure. So thank you all for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe because we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!